Welcome back, pod people, to a brand new episode of Cinema D'Amore. I'm your host, Justin Morgan, and I'm here with
Chuck.
And we're back. We had some issues outside of the podcast, and now we're back. And we're back with Good Will Hunting. We didn't lie about that. It's it's still Good Will Hunting.
Just come back with a completely different movie. Like, we just didn't want to talk about it.
Nothing's changed. It's still Good Will Hunting, which is directed by Gus Van Sant, and Chuck claimed that he hadn't watched any Gus Van Sant movies. I don't even think this is probably Gus Van Sant's best movie, but for some reason, over the past couple years, I think I've watched this thing like 3 times, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. One day I was like, I think I need to rewatch this, and then it was on television. I watched it again, and now I think I'm up to like 3 or 4 times in the last couple years.
Keep saying, like, it gets worse every time I watch it.
It might actually, a little bit. So Good Will Hunting is very, very quotable. You know, how about these apples? That type of shit. Every time I watch it, it definitely feels dated. Like the jokes, I don't know if it's just everything ripped off of Good Will Hunting, but a lot of I'll just start with my issues with Good Will Hunting right out of the bat. Or should I ask you what you thought about Good Will Hunting first?
I thought it was a good movie. It definitely does feel dated for never seeing it for, I don't know, 30 years, I guess now. I guess I'd say I don't think it was like overhyped. Like, I know it gets brought up a lot that like it's an amazing movie, and yeah, that people like it as like one of Gus Van Sant's big movies. It was I could see why Ben Affleck and Matt Damon won an Oscar for writing. I guess they definitely did the Rocky path to like no one else is putting us in movies, so I guess we'll write our own.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, actually, I guess around this time, too, they had, I don't know, they have a weird bromance where they would pull funds and do as many, like, commercials and weird-ass things as they possibly can. Don't know. Yeah, I guess this is, like, would more or less be Matt Damon's, like, breakout role. And Ben Affleck would have already worked with Kevin Smith by this point, who produced this movie, too. This is a really weird, like, produced by Kevin Smith movie. But I feel like he must have just been like, Ben, I love it. Let's go with it.
Now, Ben Affleck's big movie was definitely Phantoms, which didn't come till 1998. That was where he really made his break.
Yeah,
he was minor in Kevin Smith's movie. Come on, you got to give it to Phantoms.
I mean, yeah, but that jail scene is funny. Whenever in Mallrats, that's a really, really great scene. He might even be in Clerks or something, but I can't remember. He would definitely be in like Clerks 4 now, though.
Yeah,
they'd be like, buddy, you're my friend. You're in it for a minute.
Was it Mallrats? When was Chasing Amy? Would that have been? I think that was probably after Good Will Hunting, wasn't it?
Around the same time, for sure.
1997. It was the same year, so it was a good year for him, I guess. Him and Kevin.
It was the year of Ben Affleck, and then the next year must have been Matt Damon's because Dogma's like the next year too, or 2 years from there. So you're getting like this is they really are breaking out at this point because you're getting Dogma, Saving Private Ryan, you're getting The Talented Mr. Ripley. Ben Affleck became Daredevil. Jersey Girl.
Just all up from there.
What's the Jennifer Lopez one? Gigi or something like that? Geely.
Got Reindeer Games in there somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. That's a little bit earlier. Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, it is. I do think it is interesting that they started off like their big break kind of is writing their movie, and I guess kind of again similar to like a Stallone thing with Rocky. They wrote that first movie and then was like, I don't need to do any more writing and directing. I'm just going to be an actor from now on. Like with Damon, he's never really done anything. I think he's produced on some stuff, but I don't think he's ever written or directed anything. But then Affleck's like, no, this directing and writing, I really like it. I want to keep going with that.
Isn't that strange?
Makes you wonder who did the heavy lifting with the writing on this. Like, was it more Matt Damon doing writing? Was it more Ben Affleck doing writing? Like one of them's continued more in the filmmaking side of it than the other.
I know that they were meeting up with like a famous screenwriter. I don't know if it was like Robert Townsend or like I don't remember who it was, but they kept going over to some screenwriter's house to talk about screenwriting in general, and then they came out with Good Will Hunting. So there is like a rumor too that like they didn't actually even write it. Here, I'll Google it because I can't remember who actually wrote. It was like the New Testament. No. Good Will Hunting. That's what I want to know.
It's the most important thing to know.
Oh, William Goldman. So they were meeting up with William Goldman, and then these two people out of nowhere won the Academy Award for writing. And then what? Like you said, you're like, I don't know, Matt Damon must have just never wanted to do it again. Although Ben Affleck's directing hasn't, I think some of it was just directing, but didn't he has a hand in writing too? I think for a lot of them.
Yeah, I think he's been like a co-writer on a few of the movies. I think Gone Girl he might have co-written on specifically. Like the more recent ones he hasn't. Like Argo, I don't think he wrote at all. The Town he might have co-wrote, if I'm remembering.
Yeah, and it's funny too because like I think of I'm gonna compare Good Will Hunting to The Town a little bit when they're talking about like the unruly Southie people, and like they're much more intimidating in The Town, and then you get to this and it's like I don't know, like I guess, but when they're all dressed like 90s kids in the Good Will Hunting, and like they're gonna start street fights and stuff with people and fight the cops, it's hard looking at them and taking them seriously as somebody that like you should be worried about these guys. You don't know what they're gonna do. They might attack you. It's like Casey Affleck, and I'm like I don't know. Like I don't. Now, like the friends group stuff, like I definitely think worked fine. But yeah, them being like the tough guys where they're at that game and they're like, that's the guy that bullied me in high school, which I mean, I don't know how old he's supposed to be, but I like that had to be a couple years ago. And then yeah, they meet him at the basketball court, and they're just like when they're driving by, and they're like, "That's the guy," and they're like, "We're gonna go beat the shit out
Let's
of
beat him
him."
up.
Yeah, and all those like I don't know. And then I think this movie too, like I think by the way that like he like softens the character of Will Hunting, like softens throughout the whole thing, because he doesn't. I don't think he starts as like a very likable character, or at least whenever like he does a couple cool things, like where he's solving the math problem, and happens to be the janitor. That kind of stuff is cool, I guess. I don't know if it's right. I don't know if any of the math is right. I don't know how, I guess, Stellan Skarsgård's putting unsolvable problems up that only he knows. Or maybe he
It's
doesn't.
one of those that I'm like, if you can't figure out how to solve it, and then the other guy, yeah, writes a bunch of letters and numbers, and then how do you even know that it's like it's true? I'm like, how do you know? You couldn't figure out how to solve it.
Well, that one guy that's like the one kid that wants to be his protege that's like real jealous of Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when they look at the one problem and he looks back at him and he's like, I think it's right. But I do like too that he's clearly not the smartest person. Like he's not the smartest Stellan Skarsgård. He's not the smartest person in his field. You know, we learned this from his relationship with Robin Williams' character. But he also like I don't know. He's kind of like a weird sleazebag, like hornball teacher that tries to be cool. Like he's I mean, I don't know. I guess
Definitely trying to impress the chicks in his class.
yeah, I think that the classmates think he's cool. And maybe he was cool for the time. That's like the teacher's so smart, he's hot, and we all want to be with him. And then he's just like, yeah, everybody wants to be with me. this one of his more interesting performances, but I think the person that really makes this movie is Robin Williams' character, because almost nothing he does or says feels dated. A few things, a few lines feel like cliche for the time or odd, but for the most part, and then I feel like for the time we didn't really get a Robin Williams like that. We didn't get like sad Robin Williams, which clearly he was, at the end of the day, he was sad Robin Williams through and through. Yeah, like some of these things, just watching this movie multiple times, where his Goodwill, I keep calling him Goodwill Hunting, bad Will Hunting, where Will Hunting is arrested for his fight, and he's been arrested multiple times for his fighting and all whatever the hell. So they make him that like deal where he's gonna be watched by Stellan Skarsgård's character, and like part of it's like therapy, and all the therapists are like sometimes over like very mundane things. You're like, I can't with this fucking guy. I can't do this, Mr. Skarsgård. This kid's, he doesn't take it serious. And then you get to Robin Williams' character, and Skarsgård's like, I bet you don't want him anymore. And he's like, yeah, I do. I want this. I want to learn about this kid, and I care about this kid. But all his stuff, like, he's got some good lines. Like he stole my line, and and like the "it's not your fault" scene, which seems like something that would have been in an acting class. Like, I'm just gonna keep repeating this phrase to you, and just we're in the mood. Whatever we're feeling. We're just gonna keep going through it. It is probably, and I know you can't really compare this to anything else, it probably is Gus Van Sant's like most commercial movie, because he makes some weird shit, or like stuff that I don't think that the public would really like. Most of the public wouldn't go out of their way to want to see, or like he did
shot for shot remake of Psycho.
I don't even know what that's about, to be honest with you.
That one still, I don't know. Yeah, that one still just makes me laugh. Like he tries so hard to be like, that was an experiment. And they're like, what's the experiment? And he's like, to remake the movie exactly shot for shot. And but like it's almost like to prove that Hitchcock's was amazing and that only Hitchcock could make that movie, that like the same person could shot for shot make the movie and it wouldn't be as good as the original. Like it's a weird experiment to almost like make Hitchcock's look better by making mine not be good at all.
Right. In that instance, I feel like when you're too worried about the shots and everything looking the same, you're probably getting worse performances. Like, they have a decent cast in that too. Like, William H. Macy's in there, and he's probably fine. Vince Vaughn as a killer. I feel like that's where a lot of comedic actors start. They're always like, you got to be you're a young guy, you got to be a serial killer for now. And
yeah,
that might be considered one of his worst movies.
I feel like it is generally considered.
Because I'm even thinking, like, he's done more like mainstream type stuff too. He did the thing with Matt Damon, Promised Land, a few years ago. And for Gus Van Sant, I thought that was pretty straightforward. Some of his other stuff's like My Own Private Idaho's like wild. It's like a weird Shakespearean thing. Drugstore Cowboy, and I'm just going through all those things. Like Elephant's like the Columbine movie, basically. It's like, and that movie's also like a weird one, because there's also not a lot of plot to it. It's just a lot of, it feels experimental. It feels more like Psycho did, I guess, where it's like, we're just trying things. We're going to see how it turns out.
I mean, I guess I give him credit for trying things. He doesn't, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be weirder if he just kept making straightforward, like commercial movies, like trying to chase after this. I mean, a lot of directors that would make a movie like this that was so successful and won a ton of awards and was popular, would you think in any other world would be immediately like, oh, why don't you start directing, all these, projects that we've got lined up? So I mean, the fact that he pretty much was like, Nah, I'm just gonna keep making weird stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah,
almost didn't capitalize on the success of this movie in any way whatsoever.
we got weird ones. Like so, he did the Kurt Cobain movie, Last
I always
Days,
forget that's his too.
but he did Milk, and Milk was like
Yeah,
Goodwill Hunting was like his big Academy Award nominated, like talked about movie. And recently he did that Dead Man's Wire, which it sounds like it's a very generic title, but it basically looks like Dog Day Afternoon or some type of situation with Bill Skarsgård, like holding up somebody, like basically trying to like rob a bank or teach somebody a lesson. I can't really remember. Or maybe he's doing both. He's robbing a bank. He's teaching somebody a lesson.
yeah. Just like his old man, he's teaching somebody a lesson.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll find out too. It's like you get these weird. Well, at least the beginnings of the directors that are a little bit more weird. And you'll be like, yeah, they were offered. They were offered like Star Wars or something like very public, like David Lynch was, you know. But I feel like Return of the Jedi was like offered to like five like really fucking weird people that were experimental, and I'm like, I don't even know if these people could have made Return of the Jedi. They didn't know fucking weird movie if like David Lynch did it, but yeah, I feel like Gus Van Sant was probably in there too, where it's just like, hey, do you want to direct Batman? And they're like, nah, that's okay. I won't. Not this time. Not this time. Yeah, and there's still a couple more I have to see. I didn't see To Die For yet, which has Nicole Kidman in it. And he's got a bunch of like other short weird stuff, I guess. But yeah, and it's actually really funny because we have Matt Damon's like breakout performance, and now with the Odyssey we're getting like another huge like Matt Damon performance. I don't think I mean, I don't know, maybe he will win, but I think he's at least going to be nominated for a bunch of stuff. You will see it by the end of the year for the Odyssey. So I think it is going to be like another big like almost 30 years later Matt Damon's comeback more or less. Ben Affleck with his Argo, he got directing, but did he get writing too or something?
No, remember he didn't get directing. That was the big thing. It won Best Picture, but he wasn't nominated for Best Director.
Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of like the Golden Globes thing
Well,
where he won over like Tarantino, and Tarantino did his like weird ass like spit his water up cartoon shit that Tarantino does. The weird shit that Tarantino does. He was just doing some weird shit. I feel like I can't remember what they were up against, Django Unchained or something like,
probably would have been that year. Yeah.
which I've probably watched more times than Argo. The only thing from Argo that really, really sticks with me is when they shred all that paperwork, but then they just have these children like tape it all back together. And it was like, but you never figured that out. We just have children that will tape things together. They foiled my plan. I don't know if it's a 90s thing, but some of this movie feels like there's some sort of like disconnect or something when they're fighting, when Robin Williams and Skarsgård's fighting, but Matt Damon's clearly outside the door with like his silhouette, but they're oblivious to what's going on in their situation. I think I would say from the standpoint of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck trying to build this career as actors, this is a very like heavily like performance heavy movie. Like this is like they are thinking more about the performances and they're thinking more about the blocking than anything else. And I think there was somebody I remember talking about being in like an acting class with them, and one of the scenes that they did was definitely from like Goodwill Hunting or something before it had even like been filmed or like yeah came out. So I guess Matt Damon had some practice, you know, before he became Jason Bourne and all all that stuff. But yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think it.
I like their performances. I guess it is interesting the roles I don't know. I guess you want to say like chose for themselves because
Yeah.
Matt Damon gets to be obviously he's the main character. He has the larger role, and they kind of give Ben Affleck takes more of the comedic side of it. A lot of his stuff's jokey. He has that one scene that's really fun when they like send him
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård's like sending him on all those interviews that he's like setting up for him, and the way they like start the scene, it's facing the guys interviewing him, and they're referring to Ben Affleck's character Chucky, and they're like, well, or not, they think they're talking to Will, and they keep referring to that, but you can hear that it's definitely Ben Affleck talking when they keep referring to him. So you're like, oh, is he just like there as like his representative or something like that? But it's like, no, he's just pretending to be him, and he's like trying to shake him down for like $200 or something like that. It's like, come on, guys, you got some money for me? You got to pay my retainer if you want my services. Come on, what do you got in your pockets? Like, just like playing it as a joke. But they do have a good. I do like they kind of foreshadow it with Robin Williams is like, who challenges you in your life, and he's like, Chucky does, and he's like that guy doesn't challenge you for anything. He's your best friend. Like he'd stand in front of traffic for you if you told him to or something like that. But then he 100% does later in the movie when they're on the construction site after he's kind of like Will's like thrown everything away and like just doesn't want to do anything, and he's like, I'll fucking kill you if you're still here in like 10 years. Like you can't, you're way smarter than me. I'm a moron. Like I know I'm never going anywhere. And the other two that we drive around with, like they're not going anywhere. Like we know our lives suck and they're never going to get better. We're going to die on a construction site somewhere. Like we've given up on life already, but like if you don't do it, you're just wasting all of our time.
Yeah, or like when he talks about his fantasy of like, well, my dream is that I show up to your house to pick you up one day and you're not there anymore. Which the movie sets up great because they keep like they redo the scene at least 3 times. I mean, I think that's the magic number. So, the third time he's not there. And I like him looking in the apartment like, dude's definitely not here. And I'm like, I don't even know if I would be able to tell from looking in
Like
that apartment.
looks like the same as when he was living there. There was like nothing in there.
But I do like him.
Trash.
Them showing up with the Duncan and some other stuff, but like, yeah, it's just the heavy Boston and then like, yeah, the whole Southie thing is, I think, funny because that's how Robin Williams' character grew up, and then maybe for the time, I don't know if that character cliche is maybe it came out of this movie, but I've seen a lot of like I was the smartest person and I ended up like getting fucked over for this reason or that reason. It's like Paul Giamatti and the holdovers. Like we keep seeing that happen with these characters. I don't know if the origin's really here or not, but it's definitely a very strong case for like at least it's been happening this long. I don't know where they would have picked all these like Robin Williams must have been like the best thing they could have possibly had for this movie because he was like a 90s juggernaut with
A
all
little
his
bit, yeah, with like the height of his popularity at that point.
yeah, like everything
Like
that you
around the
think
time
of
of
is
like
like
Mrs. Doubtfire, Aladdin, everything he kept popping up in had multiple projects every year. I think he already this would have been after Fisher King, so like that was the movie that one of the things that like made people see that he could be serious as well as comedic, like he could be in a serious movie.
yeah, I don't know. They always say comedy's harder, and I guess so, because like how do you get everybody to I saw something the other day that was like, what's the best scene in cinematic history? And they said it's the scene in Jackass 3D where the giant hand is hitting everybody. And they're like, because everybody will laugh at that scene. Like, it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what country you're in. It does like you could go back in time and show it to like people and they would still think it was like hundreds of years and they would still think that it's funny. So
You
like
like insert that gag into like a Buster Keaton movie, and people would be like, "Amazing,
yeah, they would
perfect."
lose it. They would lose it. So, yeah, comedy is definitely the harder thing. But I think a lot of people will get they're it's very jarring when these comedic actors pull off these dramatic roles, because I guess the general public, I don't know, what are you expecting? Like, were you really expecting Mrs. Doubtfire in this? Or I think of like Jim Carrey's done some great serious roles. It's like, did you think that it was going to be Ace Ventura again or something? I mean,
Yeah,
he
Adam
went back.
Sandler has a few there that you're like, yeah, you're gonna get Big Daddy, you're gonna get like Billy Madison.
Yeah, but is that more impressive, or is it more impressive when somebody extremely serious is actually really good with comedy, like is really funny? Which I don't really think you see
I
that.
don't know. I feel, yeah, you don't see it as often. I feel like, but it is. I think it's like an equal, like in terms of impressive. Like there's a few people that, yeah, I think like there's a couple that don't typically do comedy, but like sometimes there's actors that, like every time they're on SNL, it's like it'll be like the funniest thing that SNL's had in years, just because of that one guy. Like Ryan Gosling comes up and like
Yeah.
he doesn't do comedy really that much. Most of his movies are kind of more serious, but he has like fun with his roles. But like if he pops up on like SNL, it'll be the funniest thing that they've done in a long time, just because he'll go for it. But I don't know, something about it's like when he does movies, he's like, no, like he keeps it separate. Like, no, movies are where I stay serious. Like I can have fun on TV, but like I don't want to be a comedic actor or something like that. Or doesn't think he could do it for a full 2 hour film of being the main comedy guy.
Or it makes me think of like Jeff Daniels, like serious, serious, serious. Then he's like hilarious in Dumb and Dumber, and then but he's
Yeah.
like he really sticks to the serious more than anything. Like I can't.
You go the Jeff Bridges. Jeff
Yeah,
Bridges can go back and forth from like the most serious, like, hell or high water, like as the sheriff that's like
he's
this super serious role, to then the Big Lebowski where he's the dude, and it's like just everything's a joke.
damn well he's the sheriff, and like they're like, dude's got this nice beard. He's the
You
fucking
got to use it.
sheriff. Yeah, he definitely has the range for sure. I don't know. I think that's always interesting because it's like I want to know. I don't know what's more surprising, but this is. I don't know. I grew up with this movie, so this movie was like, I don't know, when it first came out. I'm obviously like in starting middle school or something, so I wasn't all that impressed with smart Matt Damon, but we were like, oh, this is what college is like. Or Skarsgård's having like his reunion, and I'm like, what is happening? Where is this? They normally have reunions like around the same time that school's going on for. I don't know. Like you think it would be like at the end of the year or something, but and maybe it was. I don't know. It always seemed like
Yeah.
it was Boston, but it was clearly Boston in like a summer environment. And
Yeah,
yeah,
because I think they go to like a Red Sox game or something. So yeah, it's definitely during the summer. Which also then why are there so many people in school in the middle of summer? They have that many classes
it's got to be like
summertime.
May.
Yeah.
Early May. The whole movie's just early May. And I don't know, even like I can't remember, like the sessions seem to be weekly, I think, right? So like if
Yeah.
he several weeks have passed in this time. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Personally too, like I think his best scene is probably the one where Matt Damon's character like defends or comes to Ben Affleck's rescue with that like gross looking student. He's smarter than
Joey
him.
Dale.
So he's more or less saying like, you're actually just pulling everything that you said from this book and this book and this book. They're not even your opinions at all.
Yeah.
And just like wrecking him for Minnie Driver, who's like got maybe the weirdest performance. I don't know. Weird as in like she's just kind of monotone. Like when she's serious, like she feels the same when she's like, you don't love me, as to the scene where where they have all the gags where like every time they talk, they're like wearing different things on their face.
It's just a
Right.
British accent. She just can't act through it.
She just she can't do it.
She can't overcome it. I do.
But
The bar scene does make me laugh too. Like, because I don't know, it is funny to watch that scene And prior to watching this whole movie, the most I've had of Good Will Hunting was Good Will Hunting 2 hunting season
Yeah.
from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And it's like the fact that I don't even think, yeah, I didn't even realize like they not only do they get Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, but it is the same guy like with the ponytail and everything in that movie, like that they're making the joke out of that he's still there and they're like still doing the exact same thing, but just the way that ends with like them just like Matt Damon just pulls out a shotgun and blows him across the bar and is like, take that. And then be like, that's where the sequel would go. You had to escalate it. He's gotta full on kill that guy now.
He said, I will help finance and produce Good Will Hunting, but I get a Good Will Hunting gag out of it in the future.
Yeah.
View askew. Whatever I want. I'm getting it at some point.
Yeah, which I mean, that movie alone just has like a million. It's not even Kevin Smith's best movie, but that one section where they're in Hollywood that does have like a lot of the best gags of like Good Will Hunting 2, and then they're on the set for I don't know what would have been like Scream 3 at the time or something. I don't even know what year exactly. Or might
And
have
then
been
they are on Scream
4 and
3
it's the
set.
monkey, and they're like, God damn it, Wes, a monkey. And he's like, test audience shows. Kids love monkeys.
Yeah, Mark Hamill with the Star Wars. It's like everything is just tied back to like every friend that they have. They're like,
Yeah, that they can get for like the week. Like, yeah, Jason Vanderbeek and Jason Biggs popping up as their characters.
George Carlin's really fucking funny in that, where he's like, when he's just like, yep, you just got to give him a blowjob. You can get anywhere with a blowjob. It's a really good scene too. Just them talking to him from across the street. And I don't know, Gus Van Sant's probably in it too, like as a director. I feel like Wes Craven's in that movie
in
too.
it, yeah, because Wes Craven's there with I think Shannon Doherty. It's like the two of them are there for the
Scream
the
thing.
killers, the chimpanzee or something like that. So yeah, I think Gus Van Sant's probably in it, sitting there as like the director, but it's yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that.
Everything connects back. Everything's in the View Askew universe. Pretty much like every Miramax movie exists in there.
They I did hear recently too. It was Matt Damon probably on the circuit for the Odyssey, but he was talking about Good Will Hunting, and when they were interviewing their directors, because Gus Van Sant's like a Portland guy, so I think My Private Idaho was like the movie that they were impressed with, that they gave him a shot. But I think they said Michael Mann came in to like do his pitch, and his pitch was like some weird like gangster film. And they're like, I don't know if he read the script, because
I did read that somewhere. They're like it was supposed to be like that Matt Damon's so smart that he like figures out how to like rip off companies or something like that. Like he knows how to like hack into their systems or something. And I'm like, that's the weirdest version of Good Will Hunting I think we could have ever gotten.
I think he said too, it was like very hyper violent. Like it had like high scenes in his mind. They're like, no, we gotta pass on this. Yeah, you're just obviously not getting it. Or even like I find this surprising to be like the music's by Danny Elfman, and it doesn't remotely sound like anything Danny Elfman would do. I mean, I know he's probably worked on like 200 movies at this point, but there's none of that Elfman style like in the score at all.
It really saves that for Tim Burton. Tim Burton gets full Elfman. Everyone else only gets like, you're only getting like half.
Raimi gets a nice chunk of Elfman. Maybe those are his boys, those two. And then then he's like does some weird shit, Men in Black or something like that. Oh, he did Milk, which makes sense too. So, which I don't remember the score to Milk. So fuck, it's not the Batman score. It's not Beetlejuice. But yeah, everybody's career, I guess, is still going pretty well, besides Robin Williams, which he tragically took his life in like 2014 or something like that. It's like 15 so years after this movie. He kind of like kept diving back into like the weird serious stuff, like 1 hour photos, like very fucking, like he's so fucking creepy. And I don't know if the movie's scary. I wouldn't classify it as scary, but he's real creepy.
Just more creepy, yeah.
He's more creepy than anything else. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this version of Robin Williams, like, at all. Like, keep him away from me.
He's pretty good in Insomnia. Insomnia's, I don't know. I still feel like it may be one of Nolan's weakest. It's like the one that I go back to the least if I'm thinking of like a Christopher Nolan movie that I wanna watch or enjoyed. But it's not a bad movie. I don't think he has like really any terrible movies, but it's probably the one that I'm the least interested in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that, like, I feel like the last couple, like, Nolans, they all feel very much like the same type of movie. Like, he's just really trying to crack a code or something. Yeah, like his earlier stuff that's more straightforward, or like like Following, which is like extremely straightforward. The dude's like, I don't know. I need a better writer. I need somebody to mess with time. Just figure out a way to mess with time through memory or whatever, dreams, however you got to do it. And that's like, I got to rewatch. I realized that I've only watched Interstellar one time. I've never watched it again since I watched it in theaters.
That's crazy.
He so badly wants this to be 2001. Like, he's so desperate for it to be like that. But you know what? He might have got his wish, because anyone where they're talking about Interstellar, mostly everybody's like fucking loving it. And I think of that. I saw it online, but that scene where he's talking to his son, who's played by Casey Affleck at that point, and they're like, we're going to name him Coop. And they're like, but Cooper's on the video, like he's watching the old video. And they're like, we're going to name our son Coop after you. And they're like, but Cooper's his last name. So this is Coop Cooper.
Coop Cooper.
Coop Cooper. And then, yeah, I really want to rewatch it too, because the end is all like about his daughter, and everyone's like, he doesn't give a fuck about his son. And I'm like, I honestly don't remember if like he's dead or like why he doesn't seem to care about his kid at all. His boy. He's like, I loved my daughter. So like, what about your son? He's like, oh yeah, that asshole. Yeah, he is fine. I don't.
Matt Damon did have a funny thing on like one of these interviews that he's been doing for the Odyssey, where he was like, it was him and Anne Hathaway, and they said they were talking about something about like he was watching, like they were doing a scene and Anne Hathaway like finished, and Nolan was like, wow, fantastic. And he was like, okay, I've done like 4 movies with the guy and I've never heard that.
Perfect. Or
never about one of my performances. Like,
I think he said Zendaya got it too. He's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Like, I don't know what I'm doing. He keeps hiring me, but my performances are not up to standard, I guess.
You know what? I do remember Interstellar also being like the first, like, Matt Damon's gonna start cameoing in everything for like 2 seconds.
So we're not going to tell you he's in there. He's just randomly going to show up.
He just pops up. He's just in it, leaves, which has to be the best day ever. Like, what, you're just showing up like a day or two on set, doing your scene and going, and then getting like probably still a pretty good paycheck for for just being there. Even if they're,
when you,
it's like probably like
when you hit that level in your career that he gets to be, he finally gets to be the Robin Williams. He gets to be the guy that only has to film for like a few days or a week or something like that, and still be an integral part of the movie at some point, but like not have to be the main guy.
Yeah, and he's always like, his character is either has to be like the strongest character or the smartest character, or he tries to do like an in-between thing. But that's like what it always is. Like his Talented Mr. Ripley, I love. I think that's a great movie too. But that's like, he's so smart. What if he just conned people? What if he just took over? Or like the Jason Bourne, he's smart, but he's also pretty strong. He's also pretty strong.
He's an unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what else do you go with? I mean, has he ever played a really dumb character? Probably.
I mean, Team America.
He played himself. That wasn't even dumb. That was just normal. Normal Matt Damon in that movie. Yeah, he's
I mean, I guess if you want to say like, is there a movie that he played dumb in? It would be The Informant, which is still my favorite Matt Damon movie of all time.
yeah, and I think it's these
But it's a great
Odyssey.
movie. It's because it's a movie that he thinks he's the smartest person there. That's what makes it work. He is an idiot, but he thinks he's like this genius guy that can
They
like help them crack the case.
I know we covered that already, but I had recently heard like, and I think it has to be all like Odyssey interviews. He's just talking about everything under the sun, like he doesn't give a shit. And the one was The Informant, and he was talking about the like confession scene. He played it like he was very very like sorry, and he never meant to hurt anybody. The director, Steven Soderbergh, was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, he's like crying and everything. He's like, "No, I want you to say this. I want you to say these lines as if you're accepting a major award." And then he was like, then it clicked as to like who his character was. And yeah, The Informant is like, it is such a good movie because is he dumb? Yeah, he is fucking stupid. He is really dumb in that movie, but he's not like, he thinks he's getting away with it. But yeah, at the end where he's just like, he never reads the moment right, which that's the whole movie. The whole movie's like, what if we had a character that just didn't pick up on any of the subtleties? Just flat out never got them. That's him on that. But yeah, Good Will Hunting, I think even though it is a little dated, some of the stuff, I think it does stand out still. Did it only win writing?
I think Robin Williams was nominated, but I don't think he won. I think he won the Golden Globe, but I don't think he won the
Now
Academy
it
Award for
lost
this.
to it
I could be
lost
wrong, but
it lost to, it was nominated for a ton of things. Like it had 9 nominations, and it
it
won.
did win Best Supporting Actor. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah,
I
won
couldn't remember
that.
if it did or didn't.
One screenplay, and then basically lost to Titanic a lot.
Well,
It just kept losing the Titanic.
it's a rough year. Everything's going to lose to Titanic.
I mean, that was a juggernaut in the box office for sure. I feel like that's just, I mean, in that time, I'm like in what, 4th grade, and I remember people being like, "Saw Titanic again, saw Titanic for like the 10th time." And I'm like, and nowadays it's like you can't even get a movie to play in the theater for more than a week before they're like, "Nope, nope, no, we're taking this out." Streaming, it's gonna be streaming now. We could make a lot of money off of it, but we're just gonna immediately put it to streaming. Yeah, Netflix saying like they don't want to put anything in theaters, and then you have things like The Odyssey that's like still 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it is into it, still having sold out shows. Like they can't, like there's still people that can't get tickets to those 70 millimeter IMAX showings. Like
Oh yeah,
I mean,
and they're running them at
granted,
like 4 o'clock in the morning.
yeah, they said
just
those
to,
were
just
all,
to try to like maximize on the like to get as many showings as they can. They're running it at like in the middle of the night, and people still can't get
yeah.
tickets.
And they said, way to go, Nolan, to make it on a like the preferred format is the place that only 40 theaters can show
In
it
the
that
entire
way.
country.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Well, once we get what's that thing they're calling it? Marvel Vision. Once we got that, I'm sure
The Marvel
gonna
Vision's not anything.
that's gonna work.
Infinity
That's gonna work
Vision.
on everything. Yeah, Infinity Vision. That was it.
Infinity Vision isn't like unless they do some sort of like tech special. I'm like, there's no way. What is it? It's just you making shit up. It's just you making shit up for your Dolby theater or something.
They were literally like I did see a thing where they basically they went through the standards and they were like Infinity Vision basically means like the bare minimum for like what a movie theater should have. They're like I guess technically if you look at your theater and it's not listed on Marvel's Infinity Vision, it probably means that theater sucks because they're not running things to the proper like aspect ratio or the proper sound system. But Infinity Vision doesn't even mean that it's anything better. They're literally just saying these are basically what every theater should be running for a movie to be good.
I mean, even like where I'm at now, there's the theater in Waterfront, which has their IMAX screen, and I think it looks and sounds great there. Dolby is the same. Actually, and all their smaller ones look good. But then I go to like there's a theater really close to me, and I'm like, is is it supposed to look yellow and flickery, or is that just the projector? It's the projector, or the sound is like way off because
the sound's like way too quiet or something like that.
It's either way too quiet or like it's I go to AMC, so Nicole Kidman comes out and her lisp like is breaking the speakers, and I'm like, why is it so loud? Oh man. Infinity Vision, it's weird that this isn't the first time that this has happened, but Disney like didn't buy up the IMAX screens. Spider-Man I don't think had them because the Odyssey had them. And then when the new Avengers movie comes out, Dune 3 has everything. So I'm like, what is going on that you can't fight for them, or you just cheat?
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm not
they're
paying
probably
more.
Just cheap. They're trying to not lose money. Like, not that they're gonna lose money. I mean, even putting them into regular theaters, Spider-Man's making $2 billion, so it's like it's not really affecting them. It would have been better if they could have had more IMAX screens. It might make their overall profit, $2.5 billion instead of just $2 billion. But they're like not losing money by not having the IMAX thing. But they could have a lot more if they could have got the IMAX screens. And it's going to be the same with Avengers Doomsday. Like, that movie's not going to lose out because it's not on those IMAX screens. It could make slightly more if they had it. So I think it is just the company being cheap and being like, bah, we because I don't know how much that would cost to make sure that you have all of those IMAX screens, but I'm sure they're looking at it as maybe not being worth the profit that you're gonna make slightly more money, but you spent more money to get it into those theaters in the first place. So maybe the math just says like it's really not worth it to fight for it. Like, you're not going to make that much more money because you had to spend that much more money to get it into those theaters anyway.
Yeah, but they're also not very good with their marketing or their planning, because like Spider-Man crushed, Toy Story crushed, but like their new Star Wars movie didn't, and their Moana movie,
I don't think Moana didn't. Yeah, it's like that's where it's like they're at this point. It really does feel like their Marvel movies are the only thing that's making them money. And yeah, like the almost just kind of the legacy sequels of Pixar still makes them money, but like nothing else for them is making.
They immediately greenlit probably Toy Story like 6 through 9. They're like, just keep those Toy Stories going. Just keep them going. And yeah, Spider-Man's not going anywhere. Sony is never going to let go of it unless they're in such a bad financial situation. Like, yeah, there's no reason they're getting rid of that. I think the only thing that I had seen, like, I did recently see we're in Pittsburgh, Lawrence of Arabia in its 70 millimeter at the Row House, which was like their first time showing that. And they have a nice huge screen and it looked great. But normally, like, these movies would come out and be like, we have special like 70 millimeter projection. And I think the only one that I had got to see was The Dark Knight Rises at our Science Center. I think that was 70 millimeter film, but like the projection on that dome was like terrible and way too big. Like, it was definitely clear for its size. You're looking at like a wide frame, and two people having a conversation, you could only look at one person at a time. You couldn't see the whole frame. Like, is there such thing as too big? Maybe. Or like, I see Cinemark or something does, I don't know the technical name because everything's just the weird shit. But there's like one that has like a wraparound screen where like it's got like screens on the left and the right, and they like stretch it out, or I don't know what the hell they're doing, but that seems like that would be fucking annoying to be like, I gotta look at this screen, I gotta bend my head and look at that screen, and then it would just be awful. What do you think you're gonna watch next as far as Gus Van Sant goes? Because you don't have to hold back anymore. You can see whatever you want. Or did you see Gus Van Sant and you didn't realize?
No. I mean, the most I've ever seen was I did watch, I've never watched, I will say I've never fully watched Psycho, his version all the way through.
Yeah.
But Soderbergh did release a version that he like edited himself where he put the two together. And that was a weird experience. Like everything's cut together between the original and the remake. So like the scene will start with the original, but then Janet Leigh will look through the window and it's her boss from like the modern film or whatever, like randomly cut into it. So he did like a weird thing with that he experimented with. So that's like the most I've seen of that was just Soderbergh's weird cut of the two of them together.
All right. Yeah, I wouldn't count that. You have a lot of good ones though, I think.
I do own, I've owned my own Private Idaho forever because I've had that on Criterion because I don't know if that's even still in print. That might have been one that I bought when it was like going out of print because I know I have a DVD copy of it. I don't know that it might have been out of print at some point, and I don't know that it's ever gotten re-released on like Blu-ray or 4K.
It's probably out of print again, but I think it did come out. I think it is out on Blu-ray. I think it did.
So it might have, yeah. I don't know if it was one that like came and went at some point. I know the version I have is like the DVD version of it, the original version that I bought a long time ago, but just have never gotten around to watching.
I have To Die For to watch. Like I did pick that one up with Nicole Kidman, and I haven't watched it yet. But I think I'm pretty good on most of his movies. Like Milk was great. I thought Milk was really good. Drugstore Cowboy is really good. My Private Idaho is weird, but I think you'd like it. It's like a weird. Is it Much Ado About Nothing? It's like a weird Shakespearean adaptation that takes place in like Portland.
No,
with it's Keanu, right? In Rivers Phoenix.
Yeah.
And it's another one where Keanu Reeves is like really good in his performance to the point that you're like not used to it because you're used to like Ted from Bill and Ted or something. Or like, yeah, John Wick, like he loves to do it is like, I'm going to do something that doesn't have like a huge amount of range through the whole movie. But then maybe he's just too tired. He's like, dude, I could do Shakespeare, but it really kills me. I'm going to have to do some Matrix movies or something. Like I just can't keep living my life this way. I'm glad that you saw it. Maybe you'll pick something else down the road. We'll see.
Yeah.
Do you know what you want to do next? You've had some time to think about it. You still don't have an idea.
I've thought about it zero.
You thought about it zero. It wasn't like lingering in the back of your mind.
It wasn't a pressing matter.
You weren't like, oh my god, I'm losing all my sleep just trying to think about what I need to pick next. Well, I'm sure you'll think I think it's a little bit better too when you don't decide in advance. I did decide Good Will Hunting in advance because like I don't know what it was, but I was just like Good Will Hunting kept coming back to my mind, and I was like, all right, I guess that's probably a good one to start with. At least it's the easiest to stomach. I don't make the rolls. It's probably the one that like your mom's gonna be like, Good Will Hunting. I love that one. That one was so good.
It's a classic.
It's a classic. We're old, as we frequently keep revisiting how old we are. Yeah, 30 years ago, this movie. Young Matt Damon with the weird 90s haircut. How you like these apples? I don't even know what that's from or what that even...
I mean, it's like that. Is it just from this?
You would
is
think...
It literally just from this?
Maybe. It's a weird line where like, is it some local slang? I don't know. Even in the scene, I'm like, that's a really weird thing to say. But whatever. We'll be back. Hopefully we'll be back on track. In 2 weeks, we'll be back with another one. We'll see you there. Thanks for listening.
This is Cinema d'Amore. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky for upcoming episodes. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, iHeartRadio, and wherever podcasts are heard. Subscribe, rate, review, and above all else, thank you